Hello, Year 3. Today we're going to do some creative writing. Now, this is normally something we would do every week for a single lesson. I would give you an opening to a story and you would continue that story. Well, today you're actually going to write your own story. And I've got 4 targets on the board. Using full stops correctly, using capital letters correctly, use 10 describing words, and extend some of your sentences using joining words, something we have done recently. It says on your sheet, highlighted, try to meet at least 2 of the targets. You might be able to try and meet all of these targets, but if you think that might be too much, concentrate on just 2 of these things and make sure you do write a sentence, check it carefully and check you're trying to do these things. Take it 1 sentence at a time and check your work carefully. The task today is actually to write your own Biff and Chip story, so you can decide where Biff and Chip go and what happens to them. I have started my story on the board, but I've actually made 6 mistakes. Now, these are some of the similar mistakes that you would make in your writing sometimes. I'm going to read it, and then maybe you can pause the video and see if you can find any of those 6 mistakes that I've made. Biff and Chip were bored. They wanted to go outside, but it was raining. Chip wanted to play with his new boat. Suddenly, the magic key started to glow. There are 6 mistakes that I have made in those sentences. See how many of them you can find. So you can pause my video now. I'll also pause the video and I'll correct the mistakes on the board, and then you can see if you've got any of those right. I don't expect you to write the whole thing out, but you can just pause it and see if you can find those mistakes and see how many you can find. Welcome back, Year 3. The mistakes were all capital letters and full stops, so well done if you spotted any of those. Chip is a name, so it needed a capital letter, and there should have been a full stop after the board. This is the mistake that I probably see most often in your work. We either need to have a word to join those 2 sentences together, a joining word, or a full stop. Biff and Chip were bored. They wanted to go outside, but it was raining. Those are 2 different sentences. We would need to have a joining word or a full stop. Biff and Chip were bored and they wanted to go outside, but it was raining. Or we have to put a full stop. I think a full stop would be better because we have a joining word in the next sentence. So that's why I've got a circle there. That should have been a full stop. And because there should have been a full stop there needed to have been a capital letter for they. They wanted to go outside, but it was raining. Chip wanted to play with his new boat. Again, Chip needs a capital letter. And I've missed another full stop. Chip wanted to play outside with his new boat. There needed to be a full stop there. So then the next letter suddenly needed to be a capital letter. If I was to pick one thing out of these targets, I would say it is still our use of full stops, which sometimes lets us down in our creative writing. And I do try to encourage everybody to take it 1 sentence at a time. Think about your sentence really carefully. Say that sentence out loud. Check that it makes sense. Write your sentence down. Read it again. And then if you're happy with it and you've managed, remember to use that full stop to punctuate your writing, then move on to your next sentence. I think quite a few of us are guilty of thinking of lots of ideas and having lots of ideas in our head and just wanting to write them all down. But then what you don't do is punctuate your writing carefully. So if you can, try to take it 1 sentence at a time. I would rather you were able to write 7 or 8 sentences that were accurately punctuated than if you could write a whole page but forgot lots of your punctuation. Let's try and be as accurate as we can today. If you can meet lots of these targets, then great, but do your best to try and meet 2. Check those full stops and take it 1 sentence at a time. Remember, begin sentences with a capital letter and capital letters for all names as well, which is very important. Describing words. We do this a lot when I get you to improve a sentence. Anytime you talk about any object, any noun, you should be able to describe it. Add a describing word, whether it's an object or a character, a person or a place. Can you describe that thing? And extend some of your sentences. Use those exciting joining words, but, so, because, just to give a little bit more information and to make your writing a little bit more interesting to read. I look forward to seeing your lovely stories, Year 3, and see what ideas you come up with. I wonder where your characters will end up.